Diddy's son just publicly threw down a challenge at 50 Cent. And this isn't hype. Christian Combs literally tweeted that if he ever crosses paths with 50, he's going to slap him. But that's not even the craziest part. Right after 50's Netflix documentary dropped, fans began claiming that powerful figures in the industry are trying to pressure him and shut the whole project down. And the names being thrown around online? Absolutely wild. This isn't your typical internet beef anymore. 50 is facing heat from multiple directions, and some of the people involved sound desperate to see this story disappear. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly who's being called out, why the panic online is so intense, and what the internet thinks certain players are trying to do to bury the documentary before it reaches its full impact.
So I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. I'm not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or get to you. Once again, somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you.
But first, let's set the stage for why everyone online is losing it. 50 Cent's new documentary about Diddy is reportedly hitting 21.88 million views in just 6 days. That's not just big numbers, that's Netflix-level attention. And this isn't some casual gossip series. Word is it's loaded with never-before-seen footage, private audio, and testimonies from people who were actually in Diddy's circle, spilling what they claim they witnessed. Naturally, this has made a lot of people nervous. 50 isn't holding back either. He's posting receipts, dragging names publicly on Instagram, and making it crystal clear he's not stepping down. And the effort behind this documentary? According to sources, 50 spent 2 years putting it together, gathering footage from just before Diddy's legal troubles, plus material from Bad Boy Associates, and stacking up allegations of dark behavior. The documentary reportedly doesn't shy away from controversial topics. It covers parties, accusations, and long-debated events, including what actually happened around Tupac and Biggie. Now that the documentary is live and millions are watching, celebrities are reacting. Some are defensive, trying to distance themselves from Diddy, while fans speculate about behind-the-scenes attempts to protect certain names, though that part remains unverified. One thing is clear, 50 is fearless, and he's making waves. Starting with the biggest headline, Diddy's son, Christian Combs. This wasn't just shade, this was a threat. Christian tweeted essentially saying, "If I ever see 50 Cent, I'll slap him." And 50 didn't let that slide. He clapped back hard, basically telling him to close your mouth first. Online, people couldn't help but laugh. After all, Christian's reputation includes failed attempts to go at Ray J. But it didn't stop at a tweet. He doubled down with music, dropping a diss track aimed at 50, and then another. The lyrics? People are repeating lines like, "50 Cent, why you so mad? You that bad? 'Cause you never got a chance to go shopping with my dad." And no, that's not a joke. That's the level we're talking about. Meanwhile, 50 is cashing in. The documentary is drawing massive views, while Christian's music struggles to get attention. Irony isn't even the word. The rollout of 50's documentary moved faster than Christian's entire promo cycle. Fans online are pointing out the talent mismatch, saying Christian's tracks just aren't landing. Even attempts tied to his mother's name didn't make a dent. The documentary itself fuels this narrative, showing how Diddy allegedly took ages to finish a few bars of music. And the conversation doesn't stop there. Many argue that Diddy built a career taking from others, and the same spoiled label now applies to his kids. Privileged, untouchable, never worked a real job, never paid bills. The narrative is clear. Privilege meets entitlement, and online the backlash is real. Every tweet, diss, and post adds fuel to the fire. 50 seems ready to drag the situation into the open, and the Combs kids might not realize what they've invited. Next, let's talk about Diddy's twin daughters, who are taking heat online right now. They stepped in trying to advocate for rising above the drama, telling people not to engage with what's happening. But the internet didn't take it lightly. Viewers pointed out that people are bringing up old footage and past allegations, and telling survivors to just let it go comes off as tone deaf. The twins quickly became a target of backlash and eventually had to turn off comments. Their message, while well-intentioned, maybe didn't land. People felt image was being prioritized over accountability. Interestingly, Chance Cummings, another daughter, has stayed quieter. When she did speak, it was measured, mature, and not performative. For some fans, that earned respect. The twins, meanwhile, seem more focused on maintaining a celebrity lifestyle image, which online communities were quick to criticize. People are saying the lesson here is clear. Words and actions have consequences, and ignoring past allegations won't protect you from scrutiny. And then there's Marlon Wayans, who jumped into the conversation defending Diddy on a major LA radio show. He argued that 50 Cent was wrong for making the documentary, claiming he was kicking Diddy while he's down. Maron then pivoted into a karma lecture, basically warning 50 to watch himself because what goes around comes around. The response? Many listeners were left scratching their heads, questioning why he chose to defend Diddy so publicly while attacking 50 for exposing the truth. All of this is happening while 50 Cent continues his calculated approach. He isn't just reacting, he's controlling the narrative. Every post, every clip, every call-out is intentional, keeping the public's attention locked on Diddy and his inner circle. And with millions of viewers now engaged, the stakes are higher than ever. People are dissecting every move, analyzing every interaction, and comparing it to past controversies. So what does this all mean? 50's documentary isn't just about revealing Diddy's story, it's about power, privilege, and public perception. It's showing that even the most protected individuals aren't immune from scrutiny when history and alleged behavior are brought to light. And the internet isn't forgiving, especially when they perceive arrogance or a lack of accountability from those in the spotlight. Christian's threats, the twin daughters' statements, Marlon Wayans' defense, all of it feeds into a larger narrative. Celebrity influence meets public judgment. And for 50, every reaction only strengthens the conversation he started. The takeaway? When you put yourself in the spotlight, especially when family and legacy are involved, the world is watching and everyone has an opinion. The drama isn't just entertainment, it's a case study in how fame, family, and accountability collide in the social media age. And one thing is certain, 50 Cent isn't backing down, and neither is the conversation online.
Cent put out this Diddy doc, and Marlon was asked about this Diddy doc on, what is this, 92.3, okay, in LA, and they asked him, did he watch it? And he said he was Diddy'd out. Pretty much saying, yo, that man is already doing time, and he said 50 Cent got to be careful because, you know, he gonna get his karma. Something to that effect. What you got to say about that?
F you, the boat you ride on, anybody look like you got your last name and roll on that boat with you. You feel me?
Correct.
I'm picking a side, bro. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking a side. I'm not giving no dude, you understand, that I'm against a chance to ever do anything against me again. I'm not giving him, he don't got no side, bro. You know, anybody on his side is against me.
Understood.
And I'm going on that premises for the rest of my life. If you like a that I hate,
He even went as far as saying Diddy just needs time to sit with God and have a conversation instead of getting dragged publicly. And I'm sitting here thinking, Marlon, what are you doing? Why are you this invested? Nobody asked you to jump out in front of Diddy like some kind of human shield. Naturally, the internet did what it does best. They started asking, why are you going so hard for him? 50 Cent didn't let that slide for even a second. He went straight to Instagram and posted Marlon in full drag from White Chicks. The caption was basically, this fool trying to come at me. LOL, no AI, that's your vibe, boy. Keep my name out your mouth. The message was clear. 50 was putting Marlon in the same category as Diddy, moving in the same way, defending the same energy. That alone doesn't prove anything, but when combined with the ongoing allegations and stories circulating online, it changes how people perceive defenders like Marlon. And Marlon didn't stop. He doubled down on the karma angle, warning 50 that if his luck ever flipped, he'd regret putting all this out there. Then he took it to Instagram, going fully disrespectful, roasting 50's appearance, claiming his suit looked wild, that the buttons were fighting for their lives, calling him fat buff, and saying he was rocking an Easter suit with a Halloween face. To top it off, Marlon posted an old photo of 50 and Diddy in a pool together, as if it were some kind of gotcha moment. And that raises the question, Why is he so defensive? What's behind all this energy? Even Charlemagne the God chimed in, pointing out a double standard. He said when TMZ, Hulu, or Peacock dropped Diddy documentaries, nobody screamed about karma. But now, suddenly, because it's 50 Cent, a black producer, everyone wants to moralize about kicking a man while he's down. That shift in reaction is exactly why people side-eye Marlon's involvement. Now here's where it gets extra strange. You just watched 4 full episodes covering Diddy's life, the career, the parties, the allegation, and yet one major name is completely missing. Jay-Z. Not a single mention, photo, or even a clip showing them together at an event. If you know hip-hop history, that omission speaks volumes. Diddy and Jay-Z moved in the same circles for years. Business parties, industry events, public appearances. Yet the documentary acts like Jay-Z never existed. People online noticed immediately. One TikTok comment said it perfectly. Where is Jay-Z? I finished the whole thing and there isn't a single photo, a single mention, not even footage with him. The speculation is endless. Was it influence, optics, editing decisions, or something else entirely? No one can confirm, but the absence is enough to fuel the rumor machine. Jaguar Wright also noted it, saying the lack of Jay-Z and Stevie J mentions stood out to her. She's been pushing the idea that certain people were deliberately edited out of the narrative, which makes the silence even louder in the court of public opinion.
It seems like Diddy's just out there to take, everyone's girl, it seems like. If you got her, I want her.
Jack, let me ask you, in episode 3, we get to the Kim Porter story and of course introduce Cassie. What are your thoughts as far as how they portrayed Kim Porter with this Reckoning documentary?
They didn't portray her at all.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's the thing. They didn't portray her at all. She was spoken for by Kalima. That was interesting to watch. You don't think? Kalima's testimony, she was probably the most pitiful witness they brought up to speak about all of this in the entire thing. Kalima?
Wait, why you say that? She was emotional. She was
emotional? That's what you call it?
That's what I'm trying to call it.
Capricorn Clark was emotional. I'll give her emotion. I'm sitting there looking at someone, in my opinion, who appears to be struggling with a substance issue, trying not to fall apart on camera. Meanwhile, nobody paying attention to the fact that she's sitting there afraid to really say anything at all because she's in the middle of a custody battle and she's trying to get her kids back. And she's got to be careful of whatever she says because it could make it impossible for her to get her kids back. Did nobody pay attention to that?
Yeah, no, she said she wanted $5K from Diddy.
She wanted $5K from her former bandmate and a billionaire. And he wouldn't even give her $5K to help her get her kids back? Why not? But then again, nobody's talking about who her husband is and who her husband is to Diddy. He's one of Diddy's #1 minions.
Oh, yeah, no, that's news.
He's a loyalist. He is a Diddy doo-wop bop. Kalina's also bisexual, so I'm finding it kind of interesting that she didn't see anything. She wasn't around anything.
Her question is, how does that even happen? Is Jay-Z really so powerful that he can just disappear from this history? What strings were pulled behind the scenes? We might never get a clean answer, but you can see why people are calling it suspicious. Now shifting gears to Jennifer Lopez, because her silence is speaking volumes. Really loud volumes. People keep dragging up that old club shooting era, shining the spotlight on it again. And there's one key point everyone keeps circling back to. The victim's story never received the public support it arguably should have.
What Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said, nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall. But it saved her the first time, though, didn't it? Because as soon as that club was over and as soon as they finished interrogating her, when she sat there and cried like a baby, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Benny Medina put her with that drunk white boy until she ran him off. Like, there are people sitting here screaming out at the toll that the atrocities that Sean Combs has done to their lives, and you're trying to avoid your part in the story or the fact that you never spoke up. You know, you want to tell people on the low and put it out there that the movie was enough, was about you getting away from Puffy, but you didn't think about the trail of girls that you left behind. What happens to Cassie if J-Lo had said something to Diddler back then? Would Cassie have ever been a victim? Answer me that. Because that situation happened in the late 90s. That situation happened before Aaliyah passed away, and Aaliyah passed away in 2001. He didn't get with Cassie until 2009, 15 years after he was with Jennifer. And she had to come forward about the abuse that she suffered in a relationship with Sean Combs. Cassie would never have gone through what she's gone through. J-Lo being a stand bitch is Cassie not getting punted in a fucking hallway.
Viewers feel like the victim got left behind while everyone else moved on, rebranded, and acted like that chapter never happened. That's why J-Lo's name keeps coming up in the conversation. Not because anyone proved something new, but because people read her silence as protection. And here's the tough what if that keeps circulating online. If someone with a platform had spoken up years ago about what they allegedly saw or experienced, would anything have changed for the women who came later? Would it have changed Cassie's situation? No one can prove it, but it's the question viewers keep throwing around, which is why her silence keeps getting dragged back into the spotlight. Of course, Diddy's legal team didn't just watch this Netflix documentary drop quietly. As soon as it went live, they reportedly went into full counterattack mode, sending a cease and desist, calling the project a shameful hit piece. They're claiming Netflix used footage that was never meant to be public and framing it like 50, and Netflix crossed legal lines by using private material without permission. They're threatening a massive lawsuit. But here's the part people find ironic. The footage reportedly comes from a videographer Diddy himself hired. The claim is that Diddy had someone filming him constantly in the days leading up to his arrest because he thought he could control the narrative, like he was about to release his own I'm Innocent documentary. Instead, that same footage is now being used against him in the court of public opinion, which explains why the timing of the Netflix drop has everyone spiraling. The internet is pushing this further. People say the recordings include legal conversations and throw around terms like attorney-client privilege, as if it's simple. It's not. Legally, it gets complicated fast. The main point, though, is perception. If those recordings exist and are real, viewers feel the material isn't being treated as private anymore. Fans are convinced Netflix paid serious money for whatever footage was obtained. In the clips allegedly included, Diddy can supposedly be heard stressing about media perception, worrying about public opinion, and trying to regain control of the narrative. But instead of controlling anything, people online see it as making him look worse, focused on optics over victims. Some even say it sounds calculated. Accurate or not, that's how the internet reads it, and that's why the reaction is so intense. Another thing making the rounds, an old Ellen clip with Diddy. And honestly, it hits differently now. The jokes, the vibe, the laughter on live TV, it feels off with all this context in the background. Ellen's been keeping a low profile while these clips resurface, prompting questions. What did she know? Did she see anything? Why stay quiet when the clips go viral again? Same with Kevin Hart. His name keeps popping up because resurfaced footage shows him at Diddy events, and 50 even posted a clip implying Kevin looks nervous about what might come out. Then there's a moment people replay constantly where Mark Wahlberg makes a joke about Diddy, and Kevin's face shifts instantly. You can see the tension in real time.
Dye in that beard than Diddy wears.
All right, that's enough.
I know.
That's enough.
I seen him. He shows me behind the curtain.
That's enough. All right, I'm gonna edit this out.
But still. Put a note on it. You can edit that one.
The way the clip is framed online, it looks like Kevin is thinking, what else is about to come out? People say he starts trying to shut parts down, asking for edits, practically begging certain stuff not to be included. Now, I'm not saying that proves anything, but that's exactly why people are talking. because the public reaction is, why look panicked if it's all harmless? Now let's talk about Russell Simmons, because his posts have been interesting. He's been putting out vague messages from Bali about people tearing down black icons. And of course, the internet is convinced he's referring to this whole Diddy documentary wave. Then, as always, people start zooming out asking why he's overseas. Claims about location and legal pressure start circulating. Not all of it is verified, but the optics drive the conversation. Viewers see distance, allegations, and they start connecting dots. Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has also entered the conversation. He's made statements suggesting certain industry figures should face consequences, and he's pointed at Russell Simmons as part of that bigger ecosystem. Gan's angle is that Diddy learned certain behaviors from older industry power players, like Russell Simmons and Clive Davis, creating an environment where some men believed they could get away with anything. That's the broader accusation. The culture was taught that way. Russell's allegations are not small in public discussion. Multiple women have come forward with accusations against him, and the conversation keeps resurfacing. People also bring up the age gap controversy involving Kimora Lee, and that topic alone always sets comment sections on fire.
Into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on his...
Then there's the documentary history. There was supposed to be major coverage of the Russell Simmons allegations, and the public story includes claims that Oprah Winfrey stepped away from producing a project after concerns and pressure. The film still came out, and it's there for anyone who wants to hear these women speak for themselves. Ever since Russell relocated overseas, the internet frames it like he vanished the moment the heat got real, and that's why he keeps getting pulled into this storyline. Now, moving on to Stevie J, because if there's anyone who's been riding for Diddy through all of this, it's him. During the raids, people claim Stevie was at Diddy's Miami spot. Publicly, he's pushed the narrative that the accusations are fabricated and that Diddy never did anything illegal. Then Stevie turned his attention to 50, going straight for the throat, calling 50 an Uncle Tom and saying he's betraying his own people by producing this documentary. He even tried to make it physical, challenging 50 directly. "I'm calling you out, Curtis. What you want to do?" 50's response was classic. He posted something like, "Diddy's boyfriend called me a sellout. He's right, I'm selling out Branson Canuck." Nasty work, but on brand. Stevie's name has popped up in lawsuits too, like the Rodney Lil Rod Jones situation, and 50 immediately used it as ammo. He posted a screenshot of a headline with a caption like, "Whoa, say it ain't so, Stevie J." The whole thing turned into a public clowning session. Stevie didn't stop. He kept pushing for a staged moment, basically trying to beat 50 on TV, and 50 just laughed it off, implying Stevie couldn't even get close past security. Comedy, yes, but with real tension underneath. Then came Floyd Mayweather, who said something about Diddy that honestly came out of nowhere. Nobody asked him, yet he jumped in saying he wouldn't speak badly about P. Diddy because he's still a black man and mistakes happen. Then he added something wild. Even if something like that happened to his own daughter, he'd be hurt, but it would still be her choice. Wait, Floyd, why even frame it that way? 50 responded immediately as always. "They didn't even ask you about this. Champ, is you stupid or is you dumb?" He kept going, telling Floyd to get out of his head, calling him a hater, and of course, he went petty, trolling Floyd about reading. He offered $750,000 to charity if Floyd could read a full page of a Harry Potter book, then switched it to Cat in the Hat. Childish, yes, but classic 50. Meanwhile, Ray J has been doing some of the weirdest interviews ever, trying to ride for Diddy. He keeps calling Diddy his mentor and close friend, claiming everything was consensual between adults. But then he acts like he doesn't even understand what freak-off parties mean. He sits there like, what does that even mean? Is this real? Then he talks about baby oil, joking about it, acting concerned. Is it okay that everyone's joking about baby oil? What message does that send? 50's reaction? Exactly what you'd expect. Oh my God, what is Ray J doing? Dude is really out here crashing out. Ray then went further, talking nonsense about turning cheek to cheek, clearly thinking about butt cheeks, and 50 had to post again, clowning the whole situation. Oh, now I see why they were about to pack Ray J out. He wildened. I'm going to hit him and tell him chill. The chaos doesn't stop there. Because Ray J is defending Diddy so aggressively, people naturally start asking why. What's his motivation? Why go this hard? Even though it's speculation, the public is reading into it. Then there's Rick Ross, who stayed quiet throughout all of this, just like Jay-Z. But 50 wasn't about to let him slide. He dug up Ross's own lyrics from a 2013 track, lyrics that have been criticized for years, and posted a picture of Ross with Diddy alongside those lines. The message? At some point, you've got to do the right thing. And yeah, Ross caught heat for those lyrics before, even losing a Reebok deal. But 50 brought it back to remind everyone that Ross and Diddy have been linked for a long time. Ross staying silent now only fuels speculation. The pattern online is clear. Anybody defending Diddy or keeping quiet is getting pressed, and 50 is amplifying all of it. Then you look at Christian Combs threatening to slap 50 on sight, and the Commies twins telling people to rise above it. Marlon Wayans stepped in to defend Diddy, turning it into a full back and forth. Jay-Z remains strangely absent from the documentary. J-Lo's past connection keeps being dragged back into the conversation. Diddy's lawyers reportedly tried to hit Netflix with legal threats immediately after the release. Ellen is keeping low while old clips resurface. And Kevin Hart is being analyzed frame by frame because people think his reactions tell a story. Russell Simmons overseas is getting connected to all of this, with fans speculating on location, timing, and legal pressure. Stevie J's antics, trying to physically challenge 50, turn into public entertainment, while Floyd Mayweather jumps in with comments nobody asked for. Ray J's interviews feel like a meltdown, and Rick Ross stays silent, with his past lyrics being now weaponized online. And the internet sees the pattern. Anyone defending Diddy or moving quietly gets pressed, and 50 is making sure everyone sees it. People are asking, who is the most desperate to stop this documentary momentum? Is Jay-Z's absence editing, influence, or something else? Why did Marlon go so hard? And what happens next if the pressure on 50 keeps building? The tension is constant. Every interaction, tweet, pun, or clip gets dissected frame by frame. Every silence is read as guilt. Every defense is read as desperation. Fans speculate endlessly, trying to connect dots between past relationships, legal threats, and public statements. The story isn't just about Diddy, it's about everyone orbiting him, from old collaborators to new commentators, and how they navigate scrutiny in the court of public opinion. 50's handling of the situation is as chaotic as it is deliberate. He trolls, he provokes, he reminds people of past controversies, all while keeping the narrative tightly focused on the heat surrounding Diddy. And the public is hooked, watching each escalation like it's a reality show. Questions remain. Who really benefits from the documentary's release? Who is genuinely defending Diddy? And who's strategically quiet? How much of the online reaction is manipulation versus genuine concern? And of course, 50 isn't just observing, he's amplifying everything, controlling perception, and fueling the drama while people try to keep up. The combination of humor, tension, and public scrutiny makes this one of the most watched and analyzed waves in hip-hop history. It's messy, it's chaotic, but it's exactly the kind of attention 50 thrives on.